So guys, here are my final thoughts on the GT lineup from Titleist, starting with the GT2. First things first, let's go over some of the technology that Titleist used in this new GT lineup. So all the GT drivers have a seamless thermoform crown. All it means is it's one piece from the face all the way back to the crown. And essentially what Titleist is claiming that does is makes it faster and it makes it a better CG, center of gravity, for all of the drivers for all of their specific purposes. They're also claiming that they have used proprietary materials in the face to make it faster, therefore longer. Who doesn't want that? For most customers though, the technology is cool and all, but the big question, the $1 million question is it actually faster? Is it actually better? Is it actually a better wheel? So we're here to test that out today. We're gonna figure that out, and we're gonna start off with the GT2. It is the biggest and the most forgiving out of the 3 head models that are out right now. They might come out with the GT1. They did that with the TSR line 2 years ago. And I wouldn't be shocked if they did that again with the GT. Alrighty, so here we go. We're gonna take a few swings, probably 5 to 10 swings with each driver. So yeah, so that's that perfect shot that I really want to hit. It's that little baby draw. It's a lower ball flight, but that's what I'm used to. I got 179 ball on my second driver swing of the day. That's not normal inside. Club speed 119, so a little bit higher than I'm used to. But then carry was 302, total was 328, and that spin rate dropped to 2300. So the ball speed there is really what I'm happy about. I hit that really well, obviously. Let me check the smash factor on that guy. So yeah, so we can see the smash factor there was 1.5. So that, 150, that's a really good smash factor. That means we hit it really, really, really well. But, I'm not used to seeing 180 ball speed inside on my second swing of the day. So that went over Drew a little bit, but still, again, that's 179 ball, 149 smash, and I really do feel like there's more in the tank there. So I really think that, that was a little bit toey. That's why we got that hook a little bit. But I mean, even off the toe there, I mean, we can see it. It was low toe on the face. It's still 179 ball. So I'm really impressed by the ball speed on off-centered hits there. Now, if you don't have face control, that could be a bad thing, because if it's, off the toe or off the heel, still going as far, that means it's going to go farther offline. So if you have face control, I'm really impressed with this driver. That could be the best one yet. I mean, that's so perfect. Like, those numbers are so what I'm looking for. But I really do feel like that if I use my driver right now, I'm not getting 179.9, so 180 ball speed. I'm much more accustomed to the 175, 176 ball speed. Not that that's bad, but I mean, even out of the toe, heel, and even when you middle it, you're getting more ball speed. So I'm really impressed with just the speed of the driver. So really, after a little bit of testing, I mean, what they're claiming seems to be pretty true. All right, last drive here, and we're gonna see if we can actually get to 180 and not 179.9. I mean, definitely overcooked that one a little bit, but still, that's 182 ball, 306 carry, 333.5 total. With 2200 spin. I mean, this is the most forgiving model, guys. This is the one that's supposed to spin more, not go as far. And I'm getting my perfect numbers out of it. The GT2, honestly, is probably my favorite driver for the total general population of golf in the game right now. It has enough forgiveness for the maybe higher handicappers that don't find the center of the face very often, and it has enough oomph for the low spin guy that is, maybe a lower handicapper or a scratch golfer that wants to hit it really, really far with still a little bit of forgiveness. The GT2 is probably my overall driver pick in golf right now. So that tells you That tells you what I think about it. I would put it in the bag right now in a heartbeat. Right now I play the Callaway AI Smoke Triple Diamond. It's just as low spinning from what I found, with a little bit more forgiveness. So if I could, I'd put this in the bag right now. Moving on to the GT3. So the GT3 is the only driver head in this family that has adjustability in the head. So it can go 2 clicks to the toe, 2 clicks towards the heel to help combat that slice or hook or whatever you got going on. It also helps better players if they have a shot or a golf course that they need to hit cuts on, that they need to hit draws on. It helps them with that as well. So the GT3 is still a 460cc head, meaning it's the biggest one that you can have, the biggest footprint you can have, legally have at least. But it's going to be a little bit lower spinning and a little bit more of a bomber's paradise than the GT2. So what I'm expecting compared to the GT2 is off-center strikes. Going to be a little bit less forgiving. I'm still expecting them to go a long way, but they're going to be more offline. Supposedly, that's what I'm expecting. But if we catch one in the middle, it's going to be a little bit lower spinning, a little bit hotter, and it's going to go a little bit farther. So here we go. Let's get into it. All right, so that felt like our first real good strike of the day with the GT3. A little bit lower ball speed than the GT2, 149 smash. I might just not have hit it as well. A little bottomy maybe. Spin rate looks good, carry 301, total 324. All the numbers seem to look good, just a little bit lower ball speed. I might have mishit it a little bit, but we'll see. All righty, let's hit a few more. Really try and get that ball speed up a little bit. So that's a really bad strike right there. Yeah. I mean, it's just going to be a little bit less forgiving than the GT2. Like, I really feel like if I took that same swing of the GT2, obviously it's still going to be left. That's user error. But it's not going to be as left, and it's going to get up a little bit more too. So, I mean, kind of what I expected. GT3, definitely not as forgiving, but because I haven't really middled one yet, we're going to try and do that now. 179. 181. 181. A little bit of an overdraw there. Might have shut the face a little bit, but that's what we expect from the GT3 right there. I mean, club speed jumped up, ball speed jumped up. 149 smash, 327 total, spun at 22. It's just a little bit less forgiving. Like I said, those off-center hits a little bit, caught that one again, a little bit off the toe, and it's missed the fairway. Versus the GT2, when I did that, it was still relatively straight, and we didn't lose that much distance either. All right, so we still have yet to really pound one, so let's try and do that now. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's about, I feel like, all I got out of the GT3. 177 ball. I know I have more in the tank, but I hit that pretty well. 293 carry, 327 total. Smash factor 148, so we hit it pretty well. That spin just dropped to 1700. So maybe I caught it a little high on the face, but if that's going to be a miss off the top of the face, not off the top, but a little bit high, we're going to live with that all day. The GT3, I think it's for a little bit better golfer who wants a little bit more customizability. It has the sliding weight in the front right here. You can put it, more towards the toe, more towards the heel. It has that. So if that's a must for you, the GT3 is going to be a great option for you. It is a little bit less forgiving than the GT2, but it does pack a little bit more of a punch than the GT2. It's going to go a little bit farther. It's going to spin a little bit less. And we saw that in the testing. But in my opinion, GT2 and GT3 are very similar. The GT2 has a little bit more forgiveness, and it goes just as far. So for me, unless being able to move a weight in your driver is an absolute must, it's an absolute imperative part of a driver to you, I see no reason to go with the GT3 over the GT2. Now, that's just me. You know, if it was you, you might go and hit them, and you might hit the GT3 way, way better than the GT2. But just the lineup in general, these two drivers I think are really, really special. I think they're going to do really, really well this year. I think they already have done really well on tour. A lot of good feedback from tour players. And I mean, yeah, I'm really, really overall impressed with the GT lineup, especially the GT2 and GT3. Last, the GT4. So the GT4, not for everybody. And to rephrase that, hardly for anybody. But who is it for? So let me preface this driver review by saying probably 90% of golfers out there should stay far, far away from this thing. It's low spinning. It's a 430 cc's, so the head's not even as big. It's really, really tough to hit. But for the player that can hit it and can get away with it, you're going to love it. You know, it's going to be your best friend. So player one, not shockingly, that fits into the GT4 is going to be your Tour Pro or your Plus handicap that, you know, is automatic with driver. They're finding the middle 9 times out of 10, probably even higher, and they really have great face control. They know where it's going. They know where the head's at all times in their backswing. They're going to be able to hit this, and they're going to be able to get away with it, and they're going to hit it really, really well because they're going to hit it out of the middle of the face every time. It's going to spin at nothing, and it's going to go forever. So for those players, makes sense. Player two is a little bit more interesting. Player two that I would say could hit the GT4 would be a lower swing speed player with really high spin rate. So probably it's going to be your older golfer with a lower swing speed, probably don't swing it as fast as they used to, but they still have that face control from when they were a good golfer, or maybe they still are, they just lost a little bit of speed. And it's really going to help them drop those spin rates. Maybe they have a super open face out to in with a super open face, have a ton of dynamic loft, and they're spinning driver at 4,500. This driver is going to be a great option for them because it's going to lower that spin. It's going to not lower the dynamic loft, but it's going to act as if it's lowering the dynamic loft. And the GT4 is really going to help out that type of player too. So I would say the older generation, slower swing speeds, get that spin rate down, maximize your distance, and Tour Pros. That's really who it's aimed at. Alrighty, so here we go. First swing with the GT4. Let's just get one out there nice and easy, not try to kill it, not overswing. Here we go. I mean, that is so low spinning. I mean, we cruised there. We only swung the club at 114. We've been at like 120 this video. Ball speed, still 170. Carry, 271. Total, 308. And spin rate. Guys, 1,800 spin rate. That is crazy. That is by far the lowest we've seen so far. And yeah, so now we're going to get after it a little bit, see what we can do as far as distance and club speed and all that good stuff. And hopefully keep that spin rate low and hit a bomb. I mean, we didn't get that club around at all. Didn't even hit it that well. I mean, I know Smash Factor says we did, but I promise there's more in there. Spun under 2,000, 333 total, 179 ball, club speed not even 120. So yeah, I mean, honestly guys, this is probably the only time this year that I'm gonna hit this driver. I have no desire to hit it ever again after this, but I think it is important to do the testing on it. So, but I mean, as you can see, not even close to online. So that tracer right there is why I never want to touch this thing again. But while we're here, let's try and hit some far. I mean, that's just a copy paste shot. I mean, literally almost the exact same thing. 119 club, 150 smash factor, total 334, ball speed 179, spin rate just under 2,000 again. I mean, that is the identical shot that I just hit. That might be the farthest ball. That might be the farthest ball I've ever hit. 339, I guess we left it out again. I thought we got that one a little bit straighter, but still. 183 ball, 340, 305, 1,700 on the spin rate. That spin is crazy, guys. That spin is so low. I mean, it's exactly as advertised. Not anywhere near as forgiving, way lower spinning, goes forever. I mean, I've never seen a more accurate representation of what a GT4 is than this. I think I've hit maybe one fairway, but average distance has been so much farther and average spin rate has been so much lower. We're gonna give one or two more here, try and find the fairway. That's a miss hit. So that's a really bad miss hit right there. And yeah, I mean, as we can see, that spin rate jumped up to 3,200, total's only 308. Still missed the fairway by a lot. So I mean, on the miss hits, guys, it's not gonna be anywhere near as good, but let's be honest, I mean, the people that are playing this driver aren't hitting the ball that far off the center of the face ever. But just to show you why this driver's probably not for the masses, those last 3 or 4 drives in a row. All right, last shot here. Really gonna try and find the middle of the fairway. Really get that club around. And I mean, that is what the GT4 is. I mean, that is the farthest drive I may have ever hit on TrackMan. 181 ball speed, 306 carry, 342 total. Guys, that's spin rate. Do you see that spin rate right there? That spin rate right there is nuts. 1,400 on the spin rate, and that's only 149 smash. So in theory, there's a little bit more left in the tank. So I mean, guys, the capabilities of the GT4 are there. You know, it can be so good for the right person, but the right person is 1 out of every 20 golfers, I'd say. The GT4, like we touched on, not for everybody. Definitely not gonna be for everybody. But if you're one of the few that can hit it, do it. It's gonna be really, really good for those players. It's gonna be really, really good for those tour pros, those scratch golfers, those plus handicappers that are fine in the middle of the face every time. I mean, you saw it on camera. I hit the farthest drive I've ever hit on inside on TrackMan at sea level. I hit it 342 with, I think, 1,400 spin, which is just nuts to think about. The GT4 is also gonna be for your slower swing speed guys that are still good ball strikers, that are still finding the middle of the face. They just spin it too much. It's also gonna be for those guys, so probably the older generation. But the GT4, you know, is exactly as advertised. It is, you know, super low spinning, super non-forgiving. It's a smaller looking head, just everything about it screams, I go far, but I'm not forgiving. And that is exactly what it is. So overall, I think Titleist has done a really, really good job, not only making and manufacturing these drivers, but marketing them. Like I said at the beginning of the GT2 video, they're not coming out and they're not saying that it's gonna be the most forgiving driver on the market, but what they are saying is it's gonna go far. And it did, it's pretty handily the farthest driver that I've ever tested. So, you know, props to Titleist, hats off to them. They've done a great job. Not that we would expect them not to do a great job. They've proven over the years that they're one of the top dogs for a reason. So overall, super impressed with the GT line. So yeah, for everybody, for longer guys that, you know, want to get longer and hit less club into greens, these drivers are going to be great. For slower swing speeds, for guys that, you know, maybe don't have as much face control, maybe higher handicappers, you still got the GT2. It's going to be a great option for you. So overall, I'd say these drivers are made for everybody. Yeah, and drop in the comments which one you would play. I better not see more than a handful of you guys saying the GT4, because I will call you out, because that's probably just not true. And if you do, I want to see footage of your swing. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of these GT drivers from Titleist. So, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button to stay up to date. I will be reviewing the new TaylorMade, the new Callaway when it comes out. I'll be reviewing everything, hopefully before anybody else gets to it. So make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and staying up to date on all the latest clubs. And yeah, thanks for coming along with me. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.